Meg and Morgs. After spending 9 months backpacking our way across Southeast Asia, we decided we were ready for a new challenge. After arriving in Australia, we bought a converted four-wheel drive, and so far we've driven the east coast and spent one incredible month in Tasmania. Our adventure now takes us west along the south coast, as over the next few months we take on the huge 4,000-kilometre drive between Melbourne and Perth. Join us today as the adventure continues. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're Meg and Morgs, and in today's video we are exploring Albany and the surrounding areas. So today we've driven down to the Torndirrup National Park, I believe it's called. We want to do the Bald Head Trail.
It's like a coastal walk on like the top of like
along a peninsula almost. Yeah. But the car park's under construction. We've spoken to some people who've still managed to do the hike. They've just sort of snuck past, but we're just going to assess the situation and decide. Yeah,
a bit of rule breaking for you to start the video. We're at the Salmon Heads beach car park. Such a beautiful like coastline down here. It's sort of continued on from last video when we were in Esperance, but yeah, so we just parked up. You have to pay your national park fee here.
Yeah.
$17 per vehicle for a day. So what we've done is we've got a 1 year Western Australia parks pass for our car and then our friends' cars. That cost us $135, and basically just means that after that initial payment, you can just go ahead and go to all the national parks that you want to without having to worry about paying sort of like when you're there, and it for us it'll work out to be a lot cheaper. So our first plan from Salmon Heads didn't go to plan. Oh, it's very windy. But we're at the Misery Beach boat ramp because from the All Trails thing that we saw, I think people parked here, scrambled over the rocks, which are here, to Misery Beach, and then they got on the trail that way. So that's our plan now. We definitely seem to be getting somewhere. Look at that beach behind us. Honestly, Western Australia is so beautiful. But yeah, we definitely seem to be getting somewhere. We scrambled up some rocks onto this bit and there's actually a path, so yeah, I think it must lead somewhere. We've just got a bit more scrambling to do. There's Misery Beach, and I think up there is where the trail is that sort of goes all the way onto that end of that peninsula, but we're making it. We made it down onto the beach after, I don't know how long it took, maybe 20 minutes of scrambling over rocks and stuff. But it's beautiful here. And thanks to everything being closed off, they were here. So probably going to have to go through some trail closed signs and stuff like that now. But yeah, I think we've got a bit of an uphill ahead of us before sort of like a nice flat ridge walk. So we've reached some more sort of like, I don't know, stuff to stop us from doing, but the builders are just there. I think we've got to walk like past them or near them or to
get on the trail.
So we're just umming and ahhing whether our social anxieties could take a conversation of us. But I presume they wouldn't mind. But I think I might just ask them, look, we really want to do it. Like, are you going to get annoyed if we do it? And they'll probably hopefully say no.
Yeah.
And if they say yes, we'll walk back.
Yeah.
We've had fun anyway.
Here goes nothing.
Here goes nothing. We just spoke to a couple of the builders at the site. Well, I did. Megan was hiding. She doesn't like breaking the rules. But yeah, I spoke to them and they just started some construction basically. The bit that we were on was like separated by like a 6 foot and about 6 foot deep trench that they just dug out on Monday. So the reviews that we'd sort of seen were kind of like before that. So yeah, basically there was no chance of us getting through there because it just wasn't safe. He had all like the steel girding and stuff down to reinforced stuff in the trench, and he said there's no other way around apart from there. So
we're sad, but there's a lot more of the national park to explore.
Yeah, there's loads of other stops.
We'll put some photos up of what the hike does look like, because if you are in Albany and it's open, you definitely should do it. It looks stunning.
Yeah, I'll put the location for the car park. It's just unfortunate timing for us, really.
Yeah, like they've just started the construction.
We've had some lovely views already, of course, and we'll go around to the other coast and do the same thing. But yeah, back over the scrambly rocks, back to the boat ramp car park, unfortunately. We'll have to excuse this very bumpy road. Very bad. But we're back in the car now. Maybe I'll use both hands. After our scramble back on the rocks. It's unfortunate that we couldn't do the walk, because like we said, we were really looking forward to it, because it is supposed to be so beautiful.
Yeah.
But yep, is what it is. We'll manage. We had a nice time anyway, and we just stopped off at Frenchman's Beach.
Yeah.
It was very beautiful. The beaches here are just, I mean, like we've told you 100 times now, so beautiful with the white sand and the turquoise water. We're at Whalers Lookout, are we?
Yeah, Whalers Beach Lookout.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of like take in a lot of the different spots along the coast of this national park.
Yeah, we'll just explore the national park.
Yeah, we're very lucky as well. We've got a hotel for a couple of nights from tonight, so we're looking forward to that. So we'll do this before we can check in, so that we can maximise the amount of time that we've got in bed after having the car. We can check in at 2 and
we've been living out the car since we left Adelaide, and obviously we had the Nullarbor. It's been like a lot of driving, so I think a few good nights sleep is needed. Definitely,
and also like the time differences that we've had.
Yeah.
So like the clocks went back just after we left Adelaide, and then they went back, so that was 1 hour, then they went back an hour and 45 or whatever coming into Western Australia. So like that's all like changed up our schedules, and
yeah,
we're
I've been going to
sleep
sleep at like 8 PM and waking up at like 5:30.
Yeah, and that's just like not ideal for Megan.
No, not a morning person.
This is the lookout. Just up over there was where we were on Misery Beach and scrambling over the rocks. We've taken a short drive now to the blowholes, but as our experience has showed us from the past, they're never really blowing when we arrive. So we'll see how we get on. So maybe there's a natural bridge over the gap.
I think it is 2 different things, I'm not sure though.
We'll soon see.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
It's now a couple of days since we last spoke to you, so we finished up at the national park. Really beautiful area of Albany. We'd really recommend that you go down there. Make sure to get your national parks pass if you're in Western Australia for a long time. It'll make it worthwhile. Yeah. But we just basically went to the hotel, and then we sort of like just crashed out basically. We just needed to rest. Like the journey across the Nullarbor was very like taxing. Yeah. And then all the like clocks going back and everything just kind of had us all off kilter. We didn't sleep very well at the other campsites because of like various reasons, but so it was good. And then the day after we didn't really do much. We just again got up for meals and rested, and yeah, you know. And today, so we got up, left and checked out, went to the gym, had a nice shower, and now we're sort of driving about an hour along to I think it's called a Parry Beach campsite. We wanted to get there a bit early because it's like a first come first serve.
And it's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday, so we expect it to be kind of busy.
Yeah.
There's a couple of beaches like just before then that we want to visit, but I think what we'll do is we'll visit them either later this afternoon or tomorrow. It's basically the weather's kind of like picked up quite a lot, and it's like 28 degrees today, and I think it's going to be like 30 tomorrow. So, and there's showers at this campsite, so all in all I think it might be quite nice to go for a little swim or something as well when we get there. Just your daily reminder that Australia's no joke. We're just now having a stroll on the beach near the campsite. So we did get a spot at the, I think it's Parry's Beach campsite. It was like around $20 for the two of us for the night. And we've noticed sort of like with Western Australia, it seems like they're not like government like sorted, like it's normally like the councils that do it, so it's like on the Denmark council website that I saw about it, and they're also a lot more expensive than all the other states that we've been to, but then they also often have a lot more facilities. So for example, they have flushing toilets and showers here, but then some of them do really like take the mick with the prices, in our opinion, like $20 each per night, for example, for a lot of them, like a lot of the ones that are in the national parks, whereas like all the Fraser Island ones, for example, $7 a night, like in Queensland, same in New South Wales. A lot of the Tassie ones were like free if you had the parks pass, but here you have to buy the parks pass and then you also have to buy the campsite fee, and I don't know, it's not quite as good value, I guess.
No.
Especially for us who's like, we're kind of trying to be cheap and cheerful, like we don't really need a shower all the time, and we definitely don't need like the flushing toilets, like it's not a necessity for us. Just something to keep in mind, probably if you are camping or car camping and stuff, you probably will have to spend a bit more just because there's not that many free camp spots.
Now, so we stayed at the campsite last night and we've driven 20 minutes to the William Bay National Park. So we've been to 2 stops so far this morning. We went to Green Pools, which is a lovely snorkeling spot because it's like quite sheltered, and then Elephant Rocks. Now we've come to the nearby Waterfall Beach.
Yeah, it's a beautiful national park, and again, obviously, I presume you'll have to pay like a national park fee to come and park and everything like that. They do seem to really try and catch you out with it here everywhere that you want to visit in a national park. But yeah, it's really beautiful. All like the water's kind of like crystal clear, and
oh, we saw a snake as well.
we did see a snake. I'll put a video on the screen now if you could tell us what sort of snake that was. It's definitely a little one. I don't know if it's a baby or whether the species is
like
small.
a copper.
Yeah, but again, people say that they haven't actually seen that many snakes in Australia, but I think that might be our 5th or something.
Yeah.
Waterfall Beach wasn't really anything particularly special, but of course it was in the sense that there was a waterfall sort of like flowing out onto the beach, but it's kind of like, it was an average beach for the area in terms of like how beautiful it was, but of course it was interesting to see the waterfall come out.
But Green's Pool was like beautiful enough to spend like the whole day there.
Oh, definitely, and you could go and like snorkel and just chill on the sand or whatever like that, it would have been a nice spot, I'd say. We're going to continue on now down the highway to this like treetop canopy walk that Megan had seen.
Yeah.
It's basically like through the forest. I think it looks really beautiful. I think it's like $20 per person to do it, which, although is like an activity that sort of costs money, I think it would be worthwhile for us to do. And for Australian activities, it's not actually too big of a fee. So yeah, we're going to take it's about half an hour drive from where we are at the national park over to there now, just in the direction that we're heading. We just arrived and paid our $21 each entry fee, which isn't actually too bad because there's a number of things that you can do in this little protected wilderness area.
And it's the first activity we've paid for in ages.
Yeah, that's the thing. But it does look really good. It's actually a lot more popular than a lot of other spots that we've seen. But like very touristy, lots of people from all over the world. On this little lady's sheet, she had to write down where everyone was from, didn't she? Says that we were the first people from the UK today. But yeah, we're going to go on this sort of like canopy walk right up here and round into the forest. But it is another national park.
Yeah, don't come if you're scared of heights.
Oh yeah, definitely, if you got vertigo. Meg and I are finding it a bit wobbly up on these,
it's so
these
wobbly.
platforms. Oh, I don't know. Everything just feels like you're shaking side to side the whole time.
Yeah, and we're 40 metres high now.
Yeah, it's got a little sign saying that we're at the tallest point of the canopy walk. It is beautiful, but it's just
and these
like...
trees are like only found in these areas.
Yeah, it's like a specific tree, so like is it the tingle
red
tree?
tingle tree.
Again, they can grow up to 70 metres tall.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's just fascinating how many different varieties of eucalyptus trees there are in Australia. Like there just seems to be like a slightly different variety for literally every single different area. It is fascinating, but yeah, we're going to continue on because I'm not sure how much we're actually... It's nice, but I'm not sure if we're enjoying it. It's like being made to feel mildly uncomfortable for an extended period of time. We're now doing the Ancient Empire walk. It's on solid ground now, which is nice. And we learned that there's quite a lot of quokkas in this particular area of forest, which we thought that they were only found on Rottnest Island.
Yeah.
That's near Perth. But I don't think we'd managed to see one today just because it's like the middle of the day, and we can see like their little burrows and like the little runs that they go and take through the sword grass. Yeah. But this one's sort of like showing off like the bigger trees and like the big holes in the bottoms of them as it sort of... Oh, that tree's massive. After we finished on the forest walk, we continued through the countryside and had some lovely fish and chips while overlooking the sea. We then continued on into a national park where we'd have our campsite for the night, and we spent the afternoon planning for the rest of our trip. These are the toilets for our bush camp tonight. Let's have a look. Here we are. Alright, little drop toilet thing. It's alright. We unfortunately woke up to horrible rainy weather, so we didn't really have much option but to get on the road and drive to see if we could find the sun. Fortunately, we were driving through some beautiful forest, which reminded us of home. By the time we'd reached Hamlin Bay, the weather had picked up and we had some nice blue skies to explore the beautiful beach and limestone cliffs. You'll have to excuse the mess in the background. We've had quite the morning, but neither of us, well, I didn't sleep very well because it was like torrential rain all night, and the noise of the water dripping from the trees on the roof, like it was like a tin
really
roof,
loud.
like a ding 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 ding, was keeping me awake. Megan didn't sleep.
So that's what's in the back. We're trying to like dry everything out on towels.
Yeah, like the window shades and stuff that was outside basically. When we woke up this morning, we drove like 3 hours pretty much to Hamlin Bay.
Yeah.
We had, on the way, we stopped off at this bakery and had a really nice breakfast as a treat because we were both feeling pretty defeated after feeling so tired and stuff. I got this like ridiculously like pie and it was so nice. I'm really glad I got it because the first meat pie thing I had was not that good when we were in the Great Ocean Road. Yeah, Meg, oh, you did take a photo, didn't you? Yeah, Megan got this like caramel slice thing, but I think she'd taken a bite by the time.
Yeah, the
photo. So then we basically drove after that to Hamlin Bay, and we went on the look for stingrays and dolphins because we'd seen lots of people had seen them there. We went for a beautiful walk on the beach and they had these like crazy rock formations.
Yeah, like limestone cliffs.
But we were unfortunately out of luck with the dolphins and stingrays. We didn't see any, unfortunately. After we finished up at Hamlin Bay, we then drove like half an hour, 25 minutes up to Margaret River. It's kind of a very popular sort of like tourist spot, Margaret River. Loads of like caravan parks and there's like a little town basically. It's got like a Coles and a Woolworths, so we just popped in, got a few bits. We filled up some petrol as well on the way. And we were basically then looking for a campsite because we wanted to stay at the one in Hamlin Bay, but it was like $40 a night and people had seen, it was like semi-decently reviewed and it seemed like expensive for what you got.
Yeah.
So then we tried to stay at one in Margaret River and like the most of them were like booked out for unpowered
like
campsites.
3 or 4 of them.
And they were just like giving us like no, because we wanted to be flexible for this bit because we didn't know like what we'd want to get up to, how quick we'd decide to move.
Yeah.
So we eventually found one about half an hour north of Margaret River, around near the Brusselton area. And that basically is quite near a lot of the spots that we wanted to go. I'll show the Google Maps of like, all the different places. But yeah, there's lots of stops that we might want to go to tomorrow or later this afternoon. So yeah, it was $25 per night, which was much more reasonable than the spots in
like Margaret
River, which were
it's got
like,
showers.
it's got hot showers. I think it's got a pool.
Yeah.
It's right by the beach as well, so it's like in a really nice location. So it's much more reasonable for sort of that sort of thing. I think it's called the Four Seasons Holiday Park, Brusselton or something. But we're just on the drive now. It's like half an hour. We've got like 20 minutes left.
We're like quite expensive. So last night we stayed at the Four Seasons Holiday Park. As we said, we did struggle to find somewhere to stay in Margaret River, so we're about a 30-minute drive away. I believe this cost $25 a night. Hot showers, camp kitchen, that sort of thing.
They did have different prices for like high and low season now, because we're in the autumn, it's low season. So I think basically like March maybe onwards is kind of like low season, and then like December, January, February is the high season. Just because on the south coast, like that's when the temperatures are the best basically. And like kids' school holidays and stuff, I think, isn't it, over Christmas?
Yeah.
They have their like 6-week break over Christmas.
But yeah, like we've said before, we have struggled finding like a good amount of free camps in West Australia. It does seem to be like more paid campsites with facilities, which we don't really need. But yeah, we'll just do our best to stay in free camps where we can. Today we're heading up towards Yallingup. There's a few beaches around there which look really nice. We'll probably just spend the day exploring and see what we find.
Yeah, there's supposed to be some nice places to get out and go for a walk and stuff, and the temperatures aren't alright for sort of like laying down on the beach and having a swim and stuff, but it's still beautiful and we've got a nice another sunny day. We'll talk to you in the car because outside it's really, really windy today on the beaches. But we stopped off at the natural
Injured Up Beach and then the Injured Up Natural Spa.
Yeah, it was beautiful, just like it would be a really nice stop for a swim on like a hot day, but the sea's freezing here, and also it's not that warm. It's kind of like 18 degrees or something. But yeah, so beautiful, and we put the drone up and had a look over, and it's just like such a beautiful coastline, sort of continuing up from the south coast. And we're now at the Canal Rocks, which has got like a little bit of a boardwalk that you can do, just like between a couple of the like rocky outcrops. So we're going to do that before we sort of have some lunch. We then headed down to the water's edge for a view. After finishing up at the Canal Rocks, we then went to this Simo's ice cream place and had some amazing ice creams before having a round of 18 holes on the mini golf course. Me being the gracious boyfriend, of course, allowed Megan to win. It was a lovely final day to finish this part of the road trip all the way up from Adelaide to Perth. We really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.